horizontal cracks right here. Okay, once you see that, that's going to let you know that the curb is wanting to slide sideways coming out of the machine. And you need to pull on that machine, because if not, that's going to blow out, basically blow out this way. Pretty steep little incline right here. What I tried to do is I tried to stop maybe a quarter of a way up this hill, and I sent the guys back to fill up the wheelbarrow again. So hopefully we have, you know, about a mix and a half, which will try to get us to the top of that crest up there. 3 of us today. It's easier with 4 on this, but we'll have Chance bring the wheelbarrow in sideways, and we'll go ahead and have Matt shovel it in there, and we got to be as quick as possible, because obviously going up a hill you're going to have quite a bit of pull pressure on that machine to get it to go up the hill, and it gets pretty hard on the back obviously, so we're going to try to be as quick as possible. Notice as I come up the hill here too, I'll be changing my the position of my hands. It's either going to be on top or under, and if you change your position to under, if it does start to dig a little bit and you need to pull, you can actually pull and lift if you need to. If you have your hand on top, it's much more difficult. So check that out and see if that if that'll help you out. Obviously the hardest part of this whole thing is to not have it fall on itself, and also maintaining the line. Had a couple squiggles in there, but not too bad. If you notice at the end of that, Chance had to come over and help me push the machine up, because I was losing footing and you get pretty tired at the top of the hill. So you can see there's some ribs that are in there. When you get pretty heavy ribs like that, like this one, you know that the machine is falling on the curb. If that happens, you don't get it up far enough, that's going to blow out and you're going to have a big mess. So those of you that don't have a lot of hills in your area, you're lucky. By just running a flat trowel on the back, and you can usually tell where they're at just by looking straight down at them. Smooth it out. That's where your line of sight is going to be. Typically don't have to move a whole lot on the front. There's going to be grass down there. You're not going to see that front side that much unless you really got a big squiggle. See, that's a lot smoother. It's a long flowing curve. Again, we got shadows and stuff like that, so it's kind of hard to tell, but if we look at this whole curve going up the hill, we want it to flow. We don't want any squiggles. We want it to look like that's how it was supposed to go. And if there is any squiggles in there, you need to fix them. When you get to the crest of the hill, and here it's not a very prominent crest, but you gotta think of your curb machine as a truck pulling a trailer. Okay, I'm the truck going backwards. The front of the curb machine is the end of the trailer. The skids in the middle of the curb machine is your hitch. If you've ever pulled any trailers and you're going over a curb, okay, and you go over the top of that higher area, the truck makes it over, the hitch scrapes the ground, and so on. Your skids are the hitch. So once your wheels clear that crest, now your wheels are lower than the trailer. So if that makes sense, now your hitch is gonna grind into the dirt, and it's gonna cause the front of that curb machine to start spitting out concrete. So when I get to a crest, I really have to crank up those wheels to get the curb machine higher, because it's eventually going to start coming down and it's going to start scraping. Here's the opposite situation. At the top of this hill we had a crest. Okay, so your tires are going to be lower than basically the hitch of your machine. It's going to dig in. You got to crank up the tires, try to anticipate that so it doesn't dig. Down here at the bottom, okay, it's just the opposite. I'm on flat ground right here. My tires are starting to climb, and they started to climb fairly quickly. What's going to happen there is you're going to start spilling out a lot, because your tires are now higher than the hitch of your machine, if that makes sense. So in something like that, I try to anticipate lowering the tires as it's starting to pump through that area. That way I can get a nice smooth flow, because if you don't, it tends to drop on you and then start to come back up, so you have kind of a dip in that area. So if you can get it to go smooth without that dip, you're going to have a little bit of excess there. As you can see, I have more excess there than I had here. Okay, but I'm gradually coming up that hill, and then once I get to this point right here, I need to start adjusting my tires again, because I'd actually be too low. So I need to start raising them as I go up the hill.